Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we're saying goodbye to our friend the Devonshire. Yes, the tier 5 heavy cruiser of the Brits. This is the last game I needed to rank up to the Surrey, and it was a pretty good one. So I think this is maybe a series I continue to do of when we've wrapped a ship for the last time, go ahead and send it off with a bang. In this case, Devonshire, we're on crash zone, and we can see A is already being overtaken, and we are pushing on in. Couple of things we need to keep in mind. One, we are keeping that front island nice and ahead of us to try and block off any particular or potential damage. And thankfully, looking at the battleships, at least one of them is heading through the rear, so we shouldn't be too concerned. We did see that Benson, and he was horizontal to us, so we are going to go ahead and pop sonar to go ahead and avoid those torpedoes. He's continuing to fire at us through the smoke. We're going to attempt to do some blind fires, and there was a big thing that we noticed that we need to get out of here. And yes, we were being yelled at to turn around because now decided not to go around the far way of the island. He came close. So it's time to turn wide, pray for some overpens, and start running away and hope that we're just kind of drawing him out and overextending him. And that's pretty much exactly what we're going to do. Rely on our guns to set the fires and use the torps to go ahead and flush out either the Benson or the Gneisenau. We have our one side of torps loaded. We get one hit on the Benson off there to the left-hand side, and we get a hit on the Gneisenau. So pretty decent salvo there, and we have another set heading into the smoke just in case Benson wants to continue to hide in there. Our heal is good, so we go ahead and pop that, and we start kind of fleeing away and wait, hoping that our battleships start taking the hits on the Gneisenau, which it appears that they are doing. Now, while we do this, Benson decides that it's his turn to pop out of the smoke, and if he wants to do that, we are still a cruiser, and we still have good accuracy, so we're going to go ahead and end his day really swiftly. One hit there, 2K, and we just need another salvo. We do get our torps knocked out by the battleship that is over in B. Benson turning out, giving us broadside, giving us a bigger hit area to hit, and we go ahead, hit him, sink him. Gneisenau not doing too well anymore. He's taken quite a couple of hits, so we're going to go ahead and start trying to finish him off and push ourselves back into A so that we can go ahead and cap the area. Gneisenau goes down, and now it's just the New Mexico out there. We're going to go ahead and start firing at him, keeping the HE loaded. That's one of the nice things on Devonshire. HE chance is fairly high, and you can just go ahead and burn down battleships when they are distracted by other ships. If they decide that you're not a threat and that other ships are bigger threats to them, you can go ahead and just farm some damage in the superstructure, and you have a fairly high fire chance, so you're going to do pretty well there. At this point, we notice Moss has been revealed over in B. As always, as that rule of thumb, if you see a destroyer, shoot at the destroyer. They are some of the most valuable pieces in this game. They are some of the most valuable ships to go ahead and take out. They are the spotting branch for their team. They can easily take out battleships if they know what they're doing. And if he wants to go ahead and stay spotted, we're going to go ahead and punish him for it. He's using his guns, so he's going to stay spotted for a good chunk of time. And once again, we have that accuracy. That is the beauty of these British heavy cruisers, is they have fairly decent accuracy. So even at 9 kilometers, you're easily able to engage even small targets like the Moss. Of course, as we say that, we completely whiffed that shot because we didn't aim in, but we still do really good just waiting on that reload. Shots away, and there we go. Hit his prop, and now he's going to be one salvo left to go. We're going to go ahead and start capping A. Of course, we have to kind of play the objective. Also, something we need to kind of notice is we have another battleship pushing into us. We're going to go ahead, hit stop, kind of ready our torps, and see where these torpedoes are lining up. And the aim indicator, 1 away, 2 away. Of course, beauty of British ships is they do have that ability to single fire, and it is one of the most useful abilities that I found. It is just really nice. Now, you may have noticed we didn't aim on the indicator there. We kind of kept it bundled towards the coast there, and that's because if the Gneisenau decided to go ahead and turn on our end turn in on us, he would most likely be hugging the island, so it doesn't behoove us to shoot way out wide like that. We do get one torp hit. He actually ends up turning out instead of turning in. I thought he was going to try to come in towards us. But a lot of times you have to kind of think, what would that captain do when you lay those torps? And if you stagger them like that, what it's going to do is give you a more turns, like more chances in the linear time in order to hit it. So maybe he's not in that space. He will be in that space, or you think, within the next minute or within the next 30 seconds. And if you spread out your torps every 5 or every 15 seconds, then you have a better chance of some part of his ship being on the path of that torpedo over that length of time, which is one of the really nice uses for those linear torps, for the single fire torps, because you can really say, I know some part of his ship is going to be there. I just don't know when it's going to be there. And you can go ahead and basically take 4 guesses at it. And that's why I found myself to absolutely love the single fire torps. Anyways, Gneisenau now, he's in B, trying to play the objective because at this point, his team, he needs to get on the board. We have 2 command posts, or we have 2 of the points, A and C. They have nothing currently, and we are racking up the points. They have less than 100 points accumulated, so we're going to go ahead and just start bullying this Gneisenau now. He's distracted with someone else. We're going to keep the HE loaded because they are pretty effective. High caliber metal gets triggered there. We do still have one of our heals left, and we're going to kind of try to save it until we get hit a little bit more, and we want to use it to, or I guess not. We decided to just go ahead and pop the heal now, I guess knowing we were going to take damage from good old Gneisenau now. But one of our turrets gets knocked, but at this point, Gneisenau now is all but sunk, and down to the depths he goes. At this point, it really is our game to win. We're up to 111,000 damage. Go ahead and dodge Gneisenau's torps, and Miyoko is somewhat broadside to us, so we'll go ahead, fire the HE this way, and see what we can do. Also, sailing to B, get the cap. As always, getting that wonderful experience is key to advancing through this game and key to grinding through all of the ranks. So we're doing exactly what we need to do here. Of course, that destroyer, with firing his gun so much, has been lit up, so he hasn't made much progress with B. Thankfully, he smokes up now. We're going to kind of provide him spotting and go ahead and take the cap, because as far as what XP is still available and like on the board to be gained, there isn't much, right? Half a health Miyoko and that full battleship. The cap is most likely about worth as if I just soloed those 2 things. So it's way smarter of a play XP-wise right now. Keep the guns quiet, or at least keep them quiet long enough so that you can't be shot back, and then we'll go from there. We go ahead. Miyoko seems like he wants to somewhat sail broadside, so we'll go ahead and start to load AP and see what happens from there. Of course, he is starting to be at the edge of our range, and that is one of the downsides to dueling ships like this. Miyoko, of course, pretty good on the rudder shift and can fairly easily dodge, so we're gonna continue a prolonged battle with him, but at this point there isn't really much of a point to pursuing. We have all 3 points, and they don't really have a chance. At this point it is essentially just chasing damage. Heat Ray unfortunately takes down our Scharnhorst, which means points shift once again, and we are in a little bit more trouble, but not really. Like, once again, we have 3 points. They have relatively weak ship. The one danger is here, though, is if we have individuals go ahead and start chasing the damage, the 2 ships are able to fairly easily focus fire singular ships and take them down, especially Miyoko. Miyoko is a very strong ship to be out there and at that range, just because of its ability to dodge and get out of the way of shells that it knows are coming. So at this point, I personally am hesitant to go ahead and engage, just because it's going to be a tough battle. Yes, we have to only hit a couple more hits on that Miyoko, but it's going to be rough trying to find them and trying to kind of nail him down, just because at max range, Miyoko probably has the advantage in this stand-up fight. But at this point, our Leon has kind of committed, our destroyer has committed, so we might as well commit as well. Try to finish this game out. We are 200 points away on winning the game on points. And with that said, there's only 3 minutes left in the match. So worst comes to worst, we're still probably walking out of this match with a W as long as one of the ships survive. And now it's just about chasing them down. Heat Ray still has an impressive amount of health for this late into the game. He may have wanted to push a little bit more. Miyoko finally in range as Leon goes down. And that's what I was talking about earlier. When individual ships decide to chase damage, there's a very high risk of those ships being focused down by either when it's the black hole of ships, when it's the concentrated mass, or when it's even like two ships that are a front. Because these guys are relatively close but still spread out, they are going to be fairly effective if they can go ahead and pick one ship off at a time. And because our destroyer most likely not being spotted right now, it's probably going to be us and the other cruiser that are about to take the brunt of it. Miyoko, turns out as our shells come in, we miss pretty much all around, and we take shells from both the Heat Ray and the Miyoko, and we are down a good chunk of health relatively quickly. And this is what I was talking about earlier. We're getting somewhat focused, we're losing health somewhat quickly, and it's going to be hard for us to go ahead and keep out of the way of the damage while doing the damage to the Miyoko. Thankfully, at this point, we kind of drop spot. Miyoko is out of range, and Heat Ray is back in. And I feel more confident on the Heat Ray, if anything, just because I know we can go ahead and land shells. First salvo on him, we go ahead, hit the HE, we get the fire started. I think he goes ahead and puts it out. No, he keeps it. He keeps it burning. And Heat Ray is starting to burn on down. Another salvo out. Keeping an eye on the Miyoko in the background and just hoping someone else deals with him, because at this point, I do feel like he is the biggest threat on their team. Our fire is still burning on Heat Ray. Heat Ray goes down. Miyoko is the last ship. And at this point, the game is all but won. Guys, if you like this video, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This was a fun last match in the Devonshire, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.